So far, 28 prescriptions have been written. 3 psychological evaluations were requested and conducted. More may have occurred, but patients who are deemed incapable of making an informed consent decision by a consulting psychiatrist or state licensed psychologist don't receive prescriptions and are therefore not included in the reporting. So this is an important point. Keep in mind, remember that patients who don't pass the psychological evaluation do not get medication and are not counted in the Department of Health's reporting. According to the Washington Department of Health website, 16 patients have died under the Act, but the number provided on the website doesn't differentiate between those who took the medication and those who did not. And because most of these patients were compassionate choices of Washington's clients, we can confirm that some of them died without taking the medication. So 2 things about the reporting that you see on the Department of Health website. One is that the deaths reported do not differentiate between those who did take the medication and those who did not. We can tell you approximately how many did and didn't because many of those folks have been working with us. 14 CNC clients have died using death with dignity medication. So that's 14 of our clients who have taken the medication. 4 died naturally after going through the death with dignity process and obtaining the medication. So they acquired the medication but elected not to use it. So nearly 30% of our clients who received medication elected not to take it. None of our clients have died alone, and all have died at home, and all were receiving hospice care. There have been no complications with any of CNC's clients who took life-ending medication under the Death with Dignity Act. CNC is currently providing its free client services to 58 clients, but this number includes patients who do not intend to use the law. Of those patients who do intend to use the law, 10 have Death with Dignity medication. In the last 12 months, we've matched over 200 patients with client support volunteers and provided information about advanced planning, end-of-life choices, and the Death with Dignity Act to more than 2,000 patients and families, physicians, pharmacists, and other medical professionals. The second part is use of the law as a proportion of Washington deaths, and also comparing the usage here with what's happened in Oregon under the Death with Dignity Act there. Based on Washington mortalities in 2008, deaths under the law represent approximately 0.07%, less than 1/10 of 1%, so not 7%, but 0.07%, less than 1/10 of 1% of deaths in Washington this year. In the first year of Oregon's Death with Dignity Act, 24 terminally ill adults received the prescription for life-ending medications and 16 took the medication. Oregon's population is about 3.7 million, whereas Washington's is 6.2 million. One would expect at least 40% more deaths, about 20, in Washington than Oregon experienced during the first 12 months of the law. In 2008, 31,000 Oregonians died. 88 prescriptions were written under the Death with Dignity Act. Of these, 54 patients took the medication, 22 died of their underlying disease, and 12 were alive at the end of 2008. In addition, 6 patients with earlier prescriptions died from taking the medication, resulting in a total of 60 Death with Dignity Act deaths in Oregon during 2008. This represents just 0.19%, less than 0.2% of 1% of the total Oregon deaths in 2008. Since the inception of the Oregon Death with Dignity Act, 362,000 Oregonians have died. Of those who died, 401, or about 1/10 of 1%, used the Death with Dignity Act. Contrary to claims made by opponents' predictions of widespread use and abuse during the Death with Dignity campaigns in Oregon and Washington, deaths under the Death with Dignity Act in Oregon and Washington have been safe, legal, and rare.